Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome back to another Zenless Sān-Z reaction. Today we have Calydon's Ride, which apparently is Calydon's character demo OST, and of course I will be watching the animation after I listen to the song on its own. But Zen wanted me to get to this one, and a lot of people agreed, so I guess I'm going to hear this, which apparently is a little bit more metal compared to the one that we listened to last time, so I guess without further ado, let's go! I also saw Mori in the credits for this one, so. Ooh. It's like a hybrid. Ooh. Yeah. They're doing some acid stuff in here. Acid metal. Pretty sick combo. Your faith all right. Her scream is very guttural. Got some like fluid in the throat with her scream. Very wet. All right. Ooh. Oh. Story stuff is happening. There's always a pause for a reason, you know? I kind of dig that it's just sitting here on this low bit for a bit. No need for all that excess when things are going down.
One demo later.
See, this is why it's called a Gooner game, everybody. This is why you all get made fun of. They made a whole section of the song basically just a bass line so they could show you silhouettes in a shower. This is not a Gooner game. You're not beating the allegations today. So it was a fun song. To give a little bit on the animation, I think as usual they did a really good job with all their physical acting and everything, but also I feel like it would have been legitimately better had they gotten rid of all the sound effect stuff and just made the song there for the most part. I'm sure at the end you could just do the same thing, have it dip out, come back in, do the dialogue as planned, but there was really nothing that you needed to have the song so quiet in the first half for at all. It would have been honestly much more badass of a character demo to just have them kicking ass to a really overpowered track, just dominating, you know, and then it can do the rest the way it did it. But as far as the music goes, I really like the blend of genres here. It definitely had this more metal track sound to it, but also I love that it was still that electronic energy that we've heard so many times before on this channel, and they were blending them together. Having this acid synth approach going with this rock metal approach is a really nice blend, and something that a lot of bands are starting to do more recently as well, which I love. It feels like it showed up with Linkin Park, then nobody else did it because they were all afraid of being compared to Linkin Park, and they could never be, and then more groups started to feel more comfortable with it over time, and now we have a few bands out there who are doing this sort of blend, and I like it. Even more recent Linkin Park stuff is kind of like that. It actually sounds kind of similar in certain ways with their new vocalist, so you could also say that that's a thing too. Mori did a really good job with the vocals on this one. Again, her scream is a very like wet scream compared to most, and for people who don't know what that means, basically when people scream, you're using your vocal cords, your diaphragm, and kind of just letting air pass through and letting those vibrate freely in the throat. So normally you don't really have much liquid going on on in that process. It's all air, it's all fairly dry. You can make it really thin, you can make it really deep and glottal, like deep in the chest. You can do it in different parts of the throat, but at the same time, this scream sounds like she just took a huge chug of something and then did the scream. It has a very wet tone to it, which is just not something that you're normally used to hearing in a lot of metal screamers because it's not a common approach. So it's either that Mori isn't a screamer by default or trained to be a screamer and is just screaming and then chugging water and trying again for a different take to keep her vocal cords from frying themselves, because that is a legitimate threat if you're not used to screaming. Or it's just a tonal thing. There are certain people out there that have really unique screams, and some of them are so difficult to replicate that that's just like, oh, so obviously this person, you know? Maybe she just has one of those. I'm not sure. I haven't heard enough of her doing that to really be positive. I would almost have to see it live to know, but I still kind of like it. There's something about that like wetter sound that works really well with the acid synths, and it all kind of blends really nicely in this genre, specifically in here. I feel like you could also have any other screamer in here and it would sound just as cool, but there's something about the quality of her scream that just kind of bodes well in this environment, really. It just feels like it fits in with all the other wet bloopy sounds happening in the synth side. It just works. And specifically for the instruments, it's just kind of a decent metal riff. There's nothing really perfectly characteristic about this. It's just a metal track. I think that most of it lands in that genre blend I've been talking about, and that's why it sounds so cool, because there's nothing I would really call a standout feature of the metal side itself. The riffs are pretty simple, they're straightforward, but they're not trying too hard, so they just do their job and get out of the way. Even that djenty sort of breakdown they have in there where it's just like all zeros and ones, you know, like that's cool, but also that's really simple. But it does its job so damn well, and it plays so well with that electronic side that there's really not much else to say about it. It's just basic. But I do like that they actually made the drum set parts of it where it could have been a real drum set or sampled drums. They decided to utilize electronic sampled drums instead. So you have this bigger punch to them. You have this electronic sound that's kind of blending the worlds of that metal as well as the electronic acid synth stuff. So you have that bridge there, and it does work fairly well. They didn't do anything excessive with like double pedal, really. They didn't have anything too fancy in there for the drums. So having just that drum kit in there being played by the electronic drum samples just felt kind of right. It just fits the vibe. The real standout of this is really Mori's performance and how well that worked in. I'm still surprised about that, and everything else about it. It's a song, so I mean, like, not bad. I would give it like a solid 7 out of 10. But I think that's about all I gotta say as a result. So thank you all so very much for watching. If you enjoyed this video and you have something else from Zenless that you want me to get to, leave it in the comments below and I will do my best as always to get to that. Or otherwise, if you just like this video and you want to follow me and support me for more stuff in the future, you know how to do all that. And I will see all of you in the next video. Goodbye!